Hello guys, so now we're talking about the application case about Jack Nelson's problem. But before we get started, let me introduce my team. My name is Thereshia from the right side, and in the middle there is Katherine, and the left side there is Claraficia. So what we're going to talk about in this presentation, first is the case, the second is the first question, the third is the second questions, and the fourth is the third questions, as you can see on your screen. So this is the case. As a new member of the board of directors for a local bank, Jack Nelson was being introduced to all the employees in the home office. When he was introduced to Ruth Johnson, he was curious about her work and asked her what the machines he was using did. Johnson replied that she really did not know what the machine was called or what it did. She explained that she had only been working there for 2 months. However, she did know precisely how to operate the machine. According to her supervisor, she was an excellent employee. At one of the branch offices, the supervisor in charge spoke to Nelson confidentially, telling him that something was wrong, but she didn't know what. For one thing, she explained, employee turnover was too high, and no sooner had one employee been put on the job than another one resigned. With customers to see and loans to be made, she continued, she had little time to work with the new employees as they came and went. All branch supervisors hired their own employees without communication with the home office or other branches. When an opening developed, the supervisor tried to find a suitable employee to replace the worker who had quit. After touring the 22 branches and finding similar problems in many of them, Nelson wondered what the home office should do or what action he should take. The banking firm generally was regarded as being a well-run institution that had grown from 27 to 191 employees during the past 8 years. The more he thought about the matter, the more puzzled Nestle became. He couldn't quite put his finger on the problem, and he didn't know whether to report his findings to the president.
Okay, so the first question is about what causing some of the problems in the case that have been told before. Before we find out the causes, we need to know the main problems that was mentioned in the case. If you read the case, you can find many problems such as low employee knowledge, high employee turnover, and lack of communication between supervisor and home office or branches. Then, causes of the problems. First, low employee knowledge is caused by inadequate training. Since the employees are less equipped with knowledge of their own job, it can lead to a poor performance between employees. 2. Since employee turnover is high, there definitely has to be a problem in the employee dissatisfaction with their work, such as low salary, bad work environment, and so on. 3. Lack of communication from the supervisor happen because they have a very little time to work with the employees, since the employees turnover is high.
Do you think setting up a human resource unit in the main office would help? Setting up a human resource unit will help the organization in many ways. By acknowledging staff authority to the human managers at the main office, these managers can help to advise and guide the branch managers on carrying out their human resource duties. This will ensure a better communication between the main office and the branches while the firm is managing its human resource. At first, it will establish human policies and practices for the organization. Then, it will ask the supervisor of the branches about the qualification of the employees needed to fill the vacant post. Next, they can develop sources of qualified applicants and conduct initial screening interview and select the best applicant to the job. After that, they consult with the supervisors and provide required training to the employees and set compensation. The result will be low turnout rate and high performance employees.
So we're going to discuss the third question. The third question has three sub-questions. The first is what specific function should an HR unit carry out? The second is what HR function would then be carried out by the supervisors and other line managers. The third is what role should the internet play in the new HR organization? So the first sub-questions, what specific function should an HR unit carry out? There's 5 HR department functions. The first is labor law compliance. The second is recruitment and training. The third is payroll and benefits. The fourth is the record keeping. The fifth is employee relations. So, labor law compliance. This is one of the chief duties of the Human Resource Office of the company. So it ensures the business operates in compliance with all labor laws. The department has to know and comply with that state's particular set of rules employment regulation. This includes such issues as the number of the breaks given per number of hours worked and the number of hours and the age in which an individual can be employed. The second is recruitment and training. So, recruiting and training new employees are primary responsibilities of the human resource team. This part of the job often entails advertising open positions, interviewing and hiring candidates, and setting aside hours devoted to training the new recruits. The Human Resource Department often publishes training materials including handbooks detailing all aspects of the job. The third is payroll and benefits. So, the dispensation of payroll comes under the responsibilities of Human Resource Office, while payroll often exists as a separate division in a larger company. In a small business, it is generally handled by a small human resource staff. Healthcare benefits are also handled by the Human Resource Department. And the fourth, we're going to talk about record keeping. So, the HR office is in charge of record keeping for the business. According to the ERS, the company should keep records regarding income, expenses, purchases, and summary of business transaction. The Human Resource Department should also, of course, maintain employees' records including their individual tax forms, the company's business license, inventory statistic, insurance records, and all other pertinent business information should also be on file. The Human Resource Department is often instrumental in setting up performance improvement plans, commonly called PIPs. In general, these are written proposals designed to help struggling employees improve their work to raise it to a certain expectation level of the company. The PIP may include a description of the behavior or performance that needs attention objectives to be met within a certain time period, a plan for accomplishing the improvement along with support research and detailed consequence if the improvement does not occur. Next, we're going to talk about the employee relations. So, another key function of the HR department is managing the employee relations. When there's a dispute or misunderstanding between employees or between employees and a manager, it is the human resource officer who mediates the situation. Employees are encouraged to bring relational problems to the attention of the human resource staff for their solution. So next, we're going to talk about the second sub-question. What HR function would then be carried out by the supervisor and other line managers? So, the supervisors and line managers of each bank should cooperate with each other and with HR unit so that they have a one goal in solving the problems that they are facing. Supervisors and line managers must ensure that all the employees work together as a team, so they can do this by having a group discussion, workshops, and encourage everyone to get involved so that no one feels left out. They must also be able to handle conflicts between employees and ensure that it does not affect the team spirit. Supervisors and line managers must also keep each individual motivated and make them feel appreciated by showing interest in their work, communicating and interacting with their employees. Another method to keep the morale of the employees high is to recommend them for promotion and nominate them for an award. Supervisors and line managers must lead by example and communicate and interact with all employees and encouraging them to do as well. Better communication with each other will have a positive effect on all employees and the bank branches. The third sub-question is, what role should the internet play in the new HR organization? So, the HR information technology and software is really essential for any HR organization to help them manage their benefits plan and their employee information. The internet and email can be used to reach and communicate the employees by sending and receiving email. Another method of communicating through internet is to use it to hold a video conference with employees in different branches worldwide. And for the employers, internet and LinkedIn can be used for both networking and recruitment. And the other function is the internet can also be used by an HR organization to advertise, recruit, and select potential employees online. This is also can be very helpful with training and research. Well, yeah, that's it for this application case. Thank you for listening, and if you have any question, you can comment down below. See you!